Well, welcome to a series that I've been debating doing for a while and finally decided why not kick it off now. So welcome to First Look. First Look is not necessarily going to be my first look, but your first look. And what my ultimate goal here is to give you guys normally a roughly about a 35-minute video, with about 20 minutes of actual gameplay and then 10 minutes of going over a couple of the things in the game to see kind of what the first 30 minutes of the game is like if it's something that you want to play in. Now, I think I'm going to end up doing this probably on Fridays, and we'll do it like First Look Fridays, where we'll be doing a new game every week. But I'm going to go ahead and get this out as soon as possible because I know this game just launched today that you clicked on, and that is today's First Look, Chaos Zero Nightmare. Now, I will already tell you right off the bat, this is not a game that I want to play personally, but that doesn't mean that you don't want to play it, and I would like to go over it with you, and regardless, because maybe that's something you want to see from me. But with that, we are going to jump into Chaos Zero Nightmare, another Smilegate game, and kind of go over the next 20 minutes. So here's how this is going to work. There's a timer over there, and when I start, we will start this here in just a moment. When I click start, I will start that timer as well, and then we will see what the next 20 minutes are. We will take a quick look at the story, then once we kind of get the idea of how the story is shaping up, we'll start skipping that to save time to get more content in and be able to explore more of the game to see what we can get available in the first 30 minutes. Now, you can obviously slow that up or down based upon your playtime if you want to sit and read the stories or listen to the actual scenes. We're going to kind of play around with it and see what we can get in the first 20 minutes, and the last 10 minutes we'll be exploring the game in general. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and click start and start the timer. Let's see what our next 20 minutes ends up being here. So this game is not English supported in terms of voiceovers. You can only pick between Japanese and Korean. I chose Japanese for y'all. But that right there is an instant no for me when it comes to games. I'll mess around with them, but it's not going to be long-term playtime for me. Okay, one thing Smilegate's notorious for is when they back games, they normally have epic animations. So their animations are always on point. We always enjoy that from them. Very typical of what we expect from them. That flower shows up everywhere. That's the third time I've seen it recently. That lagging is in game, by the way. That is not my video or your internet connection. That is the actual game lagging right now. Alright, so the prologue. Alright, pretty standard menus. Looks like going to show up here. Skips. Image quality, it's already running it at max. We can't go any higher than that. Volumetric fog. Since I am playing this on a computer, not a phone, I'm pretty sure we can go ahead and say safely I can run this thing at absolute stun. So we'll go ahead and run it on everything. Can hide the UI. And we up here. Alright, so they're using live 2D animations. or probably Blender animations to do this of some sort. Can I hear you? No. I can't. Actually, I can. Alright, so no voice acting once you get into it. So it's read only right now. Some voice acting, so it's intermittent voice acting. Alright, so broken up transmission there. Now that was something that they didn't do in Epic 7 either, was they had very key things that would make noises, or they would have short dialogue lines here or there, but they never voiced their stories. That's pretty rare, so we don't go in expecting it. There are other types of games, but it is a great production value when they do add some stuff in. See, here is some. Depends on, like, it looks like narration and whatnot. But for me, you lose me. I don't want to read. I'd rather just sit back and enjoy. So, we'll be starting to skip here after this starts up. Live 2D animations look pretty good and clean. Like, exactly what, I mean, like I said, what you'd expect standard nowadays. The slight Chibi-esque characters is a downgrade to me when I look at that from Epic 7's quality. You had much better sprites, so to see that they have downgraded it to a Chibi-like sprite feels kind of like a downgrade for something that is so modern. Do they look good? Yes. I mean, they're animated pretty well from what I can see here on these sprites. But you lose me a little bit on the Chibi-esque sprite down here. Alright, so we got a card system down here. Slide over. So you got your health points there, that. Action points. Miss, defend. Now, eventually this will go to mostly, automated combat anyway. I've exhausted all my action points, the resource card. Now we take a turn. Let them do their thing. Like, does this immensely bother me? Like, no, I could live with this, but when I look for quality and growth in a game, I'm not normally, let's go ahead and heal allies and do an attack. I can still use, oh yeah, I've got two. So, alright, so we'll go ahead and attack again. And we'll pop up another barrier. We'll go ahead and use all of our cards. Now, again, tutorials are not meant to be hard or anything like that. So, interesting what they've got going on behind me. It's really going to be hard for y'all to see. The draw pile, I guess, of the cards of how you get it. So this is going to be more of a card-based thing. We're at the start of the third turn. Can I chain? Okay, so we can just do this. Not enough AP. Go ahead and do that. Oh, hey. I cut that up to where we can use it. Alright, Big Bad is gone. Now we just gotta get other Big and Ugly done. Body Slam. Let's go ahead and do that. Attack you. And attack you. Eliminated. So it's got an autoplay, so you can listen to it on auto and it'll just do it on its own. It's got a skip where it'll let you go through it, which is cool, because I personally don't care. Biological life detected. This is definitely meant to be more on the, what would be? Definitely unique character designs. This isn't your normal... This is definitely very sci-fi. So it looks like you can pick as well. Yeah, you got AoE cards. I'm sure the auto-targeting will do fairly well with it. I wish that you wouldn't have copped out on that skill. Now, I know that's not going to bother some of y'all. A lot of y'all like playing the chibi-style games. Me, personally, I'm not a fan of that. And, I mean, it's like, I wouldn't even call it chibi, because it's not true chibi. It's like a, looks like a 2.5, like a half chibi type thing. Where it is kind of there. My name is, let's do, first look, or let's do night, first look, 1176. Certain words cannot be used. Oh, is this already one of those? Let's see here, night. Certain words cannot be used. Instantly a hard quit for me. When games do not allow me to use this, we were literally just talking about this today. If I cannot use my name, I do not play their game nor support it. So that would be another hard pass. So that's strike 2 already for me. Not English, and I cannot use the word nightingale, so that instantly tells me it is a no. So we will do not play 1176. Alright, so that is a hard absolute no for me. When it comes to that, that also falls under the category. The last one we were actually talking about was Blue Protocol. Does that exact same thing, which is why I would never actually play Blue Protocol as a... not Blue Protocol, Blue Archive. Alright, so we got the next prologue story. Go ahead and enter that. So that would be strike number 2 already for me not playing. Pretty cool character setup here. I assume... this is where you're going to be equipping certain things. Currency to summon, I'm assuming. EXPs of sorts. I mean, the icons are unique and different. I mean, that kind of looks a little bit like Astrite from Weathering Waves, but we got that. So let's go here. I wish there was a hard skip button to where you could just hard skip the story. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm not clicking it hard enough. Not skippable. First viewing. Okay, so you can't do it through the first pass. So you have to do the 3x. Alright, so 10 minutes in, and we've already found out that my name is not allowed. And I think it's quite petty when games do stupid stuff like that. Now, I understand why. I know exactly what is being banned in that. And it's when they get oversensitive to the first 3 letters of my name, they can go screw off. So... I definitely do not like when games do that. Stop being overly sensitive in what, how your naming goes. I get it, you're trying to keep things fair and balanced, but that is not cool. So she's got mental breakdown. Gonna add that. And then we're gonna use this. Go ahead and let the shield through. And move on. Alright, so we've got like some sort of ultimate thing down here. Your EP is continually decreased. Ultimates. Yep, pretty consistent. Like I said, we'd expect them to look good. That was definitely one of their major tricks. Go ahead and gain some AP off of this. Heal up. Hopefully we get through the basic tutorial so we can look at the game. If not, we'll have to do a time skip. If we do not get to that point, which normally you can get to it in the first 20 minutes. Especially when there is, in games like this, like you can normally do that pretty quick. Soul Drain, which is fine. Alright, interesting. We can go ahead and skip through. More wonderful monsters to do their things on. Perfect in time for Halloween, honestly. Now, with that escape, it also looks like we might be getting to the point where we can look at the menu. Now we get a big one. Now it's time for big snack. Crunch. Bruh. Sup? And you got a toy to play with. Alright. So let's go ahead and skip through this. Alright, let's take you on. I'm trying to see what the card says. Oh, I should have done that. Oh well. There we go. That's what we should have done. Alright, we're out of action points. Alright, there's gonna be probably some sort of heal. Scripted? Alright. Snap. Brutal. Alright. They're definitely playing on the nightmare idea. I can kind of see where they're going with this. Skip the video, because like I said, we need to make up some time here. Confirm. And we got one more stage. Back to the blue pot. Go ahead and skip through this. So yeah, pretty bad opening mission for them. Now they got to go back and probably save the world. Moving through, moving through. Alright, we're going to skip this again to try to get through as fast as possible. Yeah, this looks like this is going to be mostly a story stage. Yep, done. Alright. So, now we are to the recruitment process. Interesting recruitment animation. And this is, I guarantee you, is a scripted thing. So there's 4 stars. Join the SS. Discover which chaos is next. I have the storm. Scripted events. Yep, now they're wanting you to assign her into the team. Enter. And what we're going to do is we're going to... we're going to back out and see if we can... Because, maybe we can do this in 3 minutes. We'll see. Maybe they've unlocked autoplay. Because autoplay normally is something that shows up pretty quick. Ah, this is an interesting tile grid. This almost reminds me a little bit of, what was the game? Counter-Strike had an interesting battle mechanic. That's somewhat kind of what I'm getting the vibe of here. Let's gain a shield. Cool, we take less damage, and we'll hang on to that. Go ahead and use there, and go. Alright. So she also heals as well. See if you can kill it with this. And should be finished off. Cool. Okay. So this is where you'd move up to the next node. But we are going to go ahead and escape. We must save. So it's got me locked into something that I can't back out from, is what it's saying. Alright, then I guess I will pause this and come right back when I've gotten out of this, because I do not want to waste any more time, because I want to get on with part of how the series is set up. So this is like a roguelite kind of thing that's going on in here. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yep, so that already is annoying. I get it, you're not supposed to back out in the first like few minutes, but yeah, no, I want to be able to do other stuff in it. So if it's not letting me back out, I gotta go beat this crap real quick before we can actually go look at it. So another, I won't say this wouldn't be like a strike for me, but this is just an annoyance of like, hey, I want to do stuff and I want to look at the game. Especially if you're looking at this from a reroll perspective, this is gonna drag it out. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, time to turn the clock back on. That took about 7.5 minutes, but you probably watched that in about 35-40 seconds. I maybe made it a minute long. That's a whole lot of hand-holding to get to this point. I get it. You know, you get a bunch of rewards, stuff like that. Which is fine, but, I mean, we're already 30 minutes into it at this point, and for a reroll, that is quite long if you're going to be chasing one of those. Now, is this game necessarily something you're going to want to reroll or have to reroll? And that's going to depend on how you want to play, as always. But to get that far into it, or that long into it, and that be the reroll, is 30 minutes to get to there. That's quite a long reroll. So, alrighty, another 4-star hero. Don't care. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the stuff that you guys probably want to look at, which is what's going to be the shop and how expensive is it. So it looks like you've got a monthly pack, which is going to give you 390 per day. This very much looks like they're taking the monetization model from Weathering Waves and Genshin Impact, where you get the 300 immediately and then so many per day. Packages here in the US are running 99 cents to $99. You can purchase this twice. Is this yeah, this is new packages that you can get. Protos supplies, you've got stuff that's running between $14 and $9.99. Memory archive, I assume this is going to be stuff that is used to get the duplicates, I assume is what this is going to be for. Potentially, I'm assuming pulling currencies. Alright. Interesting. An exchange shop of lenses. You get monthly limited stuff, purchase crystals. And so this has got the, yeah, this is pretty much taking the Genshin Impact-ish model of Weathering Waves model, that type of game in terms of currencies. So expect it to be not too terrible on the initial purchases. After that, it gets terribly worse, which follows most things. Agent collection, so you can see who are the 5 stars. Okay, so these must be the 4 stars. These are your 5 stars, probably what you're pulling for. Are going to be up in here. Yeah, because you can tell by the currency, the rainbow is what you're after. Have we actually unlocked summons after this? Or are we still... If I click rescue, yes, rescues are what they called. Alright, so we get to pull within... So that's how we have to get to it. And I was right, these are the currency pulls. So you've got units that look like they're up right now. You've got special requests. We have a few of these that we get to pull. A few rescues. So let's take a look at the special for this. You get a discount of 8. Because I mean, like I said, I'm not playing, so I don't care about what we're chasing. However, we do have 3, so let's just ooh. So guaranteed 5-star combatant within the next 70 rescues. And then at, what is it, 300, you get a guarantee. So that's going to be interesting depending on how expensive it is. So let's take a swing at it and see what we got cooking here. Alright, so this is like the junk currency. Yeah, this is gonna be your junk currency units. Yeah, 3 stars, 3 stars. I always feel like when you do 3, 4, 5 stars, it feels like such a waste in the pool. Unless you're gonna do content that's gonna revolve around them. Then it does or doesn't matter. Alright, so we got one that's got splash art. She's a 4-star, so they're gonna bait you out on 4 stars, making you think you got something special. interesting animation there. We'll go again. We'll burn all of our currencies out of, like I said, for me, it doesn't matter. So let's see kind of what their summoning does. Do we get anything? We don't see any so far, any special cues that I'm seeing, unless it's going to be some sort of flash. Let's see here. Let's skip and see if it does anything here. All right, another 4-star. So yeah, they're gonna bait you out a little bit with those 4 stars, making you think you got something special. Like I think I'm thinking like right in here, would it change its animation if it's a limited? There's a gold flash there, but that doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, we're getting 4 stars, which is, you know, it's guaranteed. So there is a guaranteed 4, which is standard. We actually ended up getting 2. One we had and one we didn't have. And then if we spend on this, it is 960s to make that happen. I know that would trigger y'all if I did it. You're probably trying to re-roll for her or something out of here. But you know what? Screw it. One more pull just to say we saw it. See if anything else special happens, and that'll be the 4 multis that we get for playing. We can skip right away. So we've gotten a new unit every time. They've all been 4 stars, no 5 stars. So it's going to be typical gotcha rates, probability info. All right, y'all can see that. So there is a targeting 4-star or higher probability target guide appearing at a 1% chance, including the pitidity of 5-star, 2.4 base. Probability is 1 in 50 seconds. So appearance. So those are what is in the banner. You get the 4 stars. It's got a record of what you pulled. So yeah, they're definitely taking very much so from that style game. Let's see here. Is there a 50-50 and a target is guaranteed on the side with a 100% chance obtaining a 5-star resets? Okay, let's actually go to like a main character and make sure that this isn't a 50-50 gotcha. Does not appear on the 70th. It will be gained on the... yes. So, this is a 50-50 gotcha, which is absolutely terrible to have to play. In terms of rate-ups. So, this makes it a lot harder to obtain, but yes. The 5-star rate-up target is guaranteed on the 140th rescue. So... that's brutal to have to deal with, so that would be something else that I would shy away from with that. So the other systems that seem to be showing up is you got your combatant lists, the ability to level them up. Forced tutorials always annoy me, but, you know, I get it. It's to make sure that people go through it. Partners, you can assign partners, which are your 3 stars, so that's probably where you're getting some of those stats, which that makes more sense. Save data is the card systems, the potential system to make them stronger. Ego is, I guess, their limit breaks. I mean, overall, this is a unique design, so there we are at 30 minutes. That's where we wanted to stop. So it's time for the final thoughts of this for my first 30 minutes playing. And, well, the first 20 minutes of gameplay with 10 minutes of checking out the stuff. Well, you lost me in 2 places. One, the first negative for me was the English and not being English dubbed, but that's okay. I bypassed that. Not as like an actual like negative of this. The actual first major no is when you tell me I can't use my name. I'm out. You lost me instantaneously as a player right there. We'll never play your game and give it an actual go. 50-50 pity for me is a no. However, I actually did think that card system could be cool, and the roguelite aspect of going through getting stuff, if that's really how that was setting up, was actually kind of neat, where you're getting stuff. But I think it was just more of how it's handing you the cards, not necessarily giving you special buffs and not as you play. So, for me, visually, it's appealing to look at. The chibi thing I could look past because it's like pseudo-chibi, like they're not like fully adulted characters as how their actual models are, which I always feel like is a cop-out. But the story could be engaging. I like the idea of the nightmare aspect of this, where it definitely has a horror-like flair to it. So that didn't bother me at all. That's pretty cool. You have to reach that to get there. It looks like there's a lot of stuff locked behind things we can't get to right now. But there are things about this that do look appealing. For me, for my first look at it, if I was looking at this, this would turn me off instantaneously by those two things. But your mileage will vary. But if you do happen to have NIG in the front of any of your names, you will not be able to create a name here, unfortunately. So they need to relax that, as most companies won't do it because they're afraid of what comes after those letters. And it's 2025. Grow a pair. Not everybody thinks like that. Would I recommend this to somebody? I would say if you are okay with being brutalized by a 50-50 pity, but judging by the cash shop here, a pretty brutal, I wouldn't say brutal, but a brutal cash shop for spending, because I assume this will end up playing out like those Genshin Impact Weathering Waves like games. Depends on how their character system ends up going for the economy of how often will you have to pull for limited or the OP unit. I know there are some games out there that is absolutely painful to do. But the gameplay could be unique and fun. If that's what you're into, like I said, the card system was probably the most interesting thing for me in terms of that. And it's also Smilegate definitely backs games that have visually appealing anime styles. Their animations were cool, so I did like that aspect of it. But for me, this is a hard no. Absolutely hard no for me. But I think that you can go out and have a lot of fun in it. I think it's actually, for those who actually like what is going on here, I think you'll actually have fun with it. But if you follow along with some of the same mentalities and mantras I go with, or the styles of how I play, you'll probably burn out pretty quick on it. If you go down that same path that I normally do. But if those things don't bother you, give this game, sure, a shot. It's new, and it's something unique to play right now. The horror film, if you like that, go for it. I'm not going to say don't go play this game to you personally, but as me, as a player, no, they lost me instantaneously, and I will never come back to the game ever again. So that's it for the first look. Like I said, today will be a unique one, and I think we may just honor it that if it is a brand new game, we will try to get it out on launch day, but if it's not a brand new game, we'll make it a running series on Fridays to be First Look Fridays, where we will drop a game whether I've played it or not. So this will be the point where I would tell you, if you want to watch me go through a game in this system, we'll try to refine it to make it better. Like I said, this was the first one. This was the idea that I had for it. So let's see what ends up happening as the series evolves and can continue to grow. So the best thing for you to do is, if you have a recommendation, here's what it needs to follow. 1, it needs to be available on the Google Play Store. I will not download games that are directly from off-party sites, so it will need to be something that is officially supported that I can get on LD Player. If it somehow fails to be able to be downloaded on LD Player, BlueStacks, or Moomoo Player, it will be not a video I will bring. Then it needs to be something that is not on the EOS table, where it has been announced that it will EOS within the next 90 days or whatever. So those are the only things that we really want to look for in terms of first looks, and it needs to have an English supported text. I don't care if it has Japanese or anything Korean voiced, but it needs to have English text for us to actually look at it, because I feel like that is only fair to be able to at least understand and read, because I know there's many Japanese and Korean games where you cannot read at all what is being said in the game. Those games we will also stay away from. But other than that, I feel like it's fair game, so throw your suggestions down. If there is a high suggestion of the week that goes down in the bottom, we'll check it out. Soon you will be seeing games that I've played before, but they will be on a special account of my First Look account here. So they will always be brand new starts. So we'll always see it from the first kind of 30 minutes of the game, and hopefully we can refine this into something pretty cool. And I think it'd be fun to do for the channel long term, to get to actually explore games and say, hey, we at least looked at it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.